What is up? My name is Douglas Nyback. This is DNA, which stands for Douglas Nyback Acting, which makes sense because it's the place you go on the internet to learn anything you need to know about acting for free from somebody who's coaching 20 to 30 clients a week, but also today going to set, which is why this video is a little weird. I'm heading to set on a show I'm shooting called Doc. We're filming the season finale, which is very fun. So I figured it'd be cool to, one, take you with me, and two, to do a bit of a video where I talk about really practical things on set, like lessons that I've learned over the years, preparedness, stuff that comes at you on set, all of that, and do it in a way so that I'm freaking filming it while I'm out there. So and give you a little like look behind the scenes of the show I'm on. It starts with the reason why I'm being quiet right now. Number one, you are gonna have to get up really early. Right now my voice is all gravelly, my face is my face, and it's because I had to get up at 4 a.m. because my pickup is just after 5 a.m. Call times are either very early in the morning or they're very late. Sometimes you'll get a call time where you're like in the middle of the day and you don't have to, get to set until like noon. That is very often not the case. And this is a weird thing because so much of the way that actors make their living in a survival job capacity is working in restaurants or working jobs that are evening based. And very often artists in general get on sleep schedules that are like super late in the day. You used to go into bed at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and then you book a gig and somebody's like, hey, your pickup is 3:45 in the morning. And you're like, okay, I'm sorry, 3:45, that's when I normally go to bed.
No! God, please, no!
And this happened a lot to me when I was younger. And what I ended up doing was just putting myself really diligently the week before I started a gig, putting myself really diligently on a morning schedule or a schedule that got me up earlier so that when the time came for me to get hit by that really early morning, I would be in a much better position to handle it because you want to be at your best. The last thing you want to do is be going to bed at like 2 in the morning when you have to wake up at 4 a.m. So this is a small thing, but actors who feel invincible, and to a degree maybe are, you can do that, like go to bed at midnight, get up at 3 or 4. It still isn't putting you in an optimal position, like neurologically, to go into the rigors of set, to be remembering your lines, to be able to be at your best. You got to treat it, even if you only have a day and you're just delivering a pizza, you got to treat it like this is the single most important job you will have this year. Listen, I'm not a huge manifesting guy, but there's something about behaving in a way that is true to succeeding at the thing that you actually want to do. Anyway, long way to say, get your friggin' sleep, get onto a morning schedule because set is going to demand that of you. Thank you for being quiet with me because I don't want to wake my dogs up and I don't want to wake my partner up. Another thing while I'm just packing up my coffee to meet my pickup, if it's your first time on set, I didn't know this, but wash your hair. Always wash your hair because you want to show up, wash your hair, wash your face, don't wear any makeup, all that stuff, because you want to make sure that you are showing up to hair and makeup friggin' neutral. This is my doggo. Okay, cool. Goodbye. Have a good day. I'll see you later. She's so not happy with me. It's too early in the morning, isn't it? Okay, so it is 5:48, which is exactly my pickup time, and I am heading to my ride. I'm gonna do a little bit B-roll in the friggin' ride, but I'm not gonna audio film there because my driver doesn't want to hear me talk about acting.
Only Thursday.
Yeah, it was great. And that was like the most iconic moment because that was the arrival of color from in The Wizard of Oz. Hey, what's up? How are you? So this is me, Dr. Peter Douglas, and I'm going to my trailer now. That's what we're friggin' doing. So anyway, this is my trailer. That's me. I get here, they direct me to my trailer, wherever it is. In this case, they took my breakfast order, which is super nice. Next, I will go into hair and makeup because Lord of mercy, look at this. And then I will get my head in the game with my sides, which I always bring my sides to the makeup trailer. And then I will come back here and talk to you guys some more. Very often when you get to base camp, it's a bit of a whirlwind. The whole industry is hurry up and wait. I've had days where I've literally been in my trailer for like 14, 15 hours and never make it to set because it's going south on set. It's not like that's very rare, but it does happen. Generally, when I get to base camp, it's like, okay, cool, get processed, get through hair and makeup as quick as I can, get into wardrobe so I'm ready to go. And that gives me all the time I need to like settle, get my head in the game, warm up, do whatever I gotta do, and just like stay in the zone that I need to be in. I prepare for the worst, and very often, like 9 times out of 10, it's a much better case scenario that I'm ready for. And that's, I think, the way that you want to do it. Expect chaos, be delighted by order and time and ease. That's kind of the way I approach getting to set. Okay, I got a minute here before I go to hair and makeup, so I figured I would just talk to you about the first really practical thing. These are our sides for the day. This is like the world of the script. I can't really show you anything other than that it is a script, because I'll get sued, and being sued is very bad for me and my longevity as a human. One of the things that I've learned painstakingly, be way more memorized than you think you should be. The reason why I say this is because shit goes south all the time. Being on set is a really high... Ooh, that's somebody coming to get me. One sec. Going to freaking hair. And then I'm going to talk more about memorization. Hi, how are you? And I have a little gift for you guys. This is for you. Isn't it neat? Yeah, it's cool. Well, I'll see you soon, but have a lovely rest of your day. You see how that like follows? It's so cool. Okay, so we're out of hair and we're coming back into the trailer where I'm going to continue talking about memorization. Ooh, look at that. Look at that hair. Look at it. Rewrites are going to happen. The main difference in theater versus theater to film and television is that theater is a complete literary thing. It's done. It's like a part of the cultural zeitgeist. It's not that it doesn't get rewritten once you're rehearsing it, but like if you're doing Tennessee Williams, it's not getting rewritten. Fundamental differences in the medium, and the main difference is that film and TV is being rewritten up to and including the moment you start shooting. You're making changes on the fly. There's improvisational elements depending on the production. There's all sorts of stuff. Things are going to change. Line changes get thrown at you last minute. And sometimes entire monologues will be given to you the morning of. That's happened on this show. It happens on a lot of stuff. So this is one of those things where being as like more memorized than you think you have to be, so that in the moment you don't have to be thinking about what's my line, and I gotta go do more stuff. This is what I meant by life on set can be a little chaotic. I'm gonna eat some food. I'm gonna go over to hair and makeup. But before I do that, I'm gonna friggin' finish making my point, which is that revisions are gonna come your way. When you're auditioning, very often you don't have the time to be as memorized as you want to be. So there is always an element of like a window open in your mind, thinking about what your line is going to be next. Usually, sometimes you get into that sweet spot where you don't have to, but very often there's like an element of like holding on to the words. Ideally, when you're getting on set, you want to be past that. You want to be in a place where the lines are so in you that you don't need to think about them, that they're just instinctive. You can trust that you're going to get into the flow of the scene. You're going to run it, you're going to block it, you're going to be shooting the wide, but you're never going to have as much time as you actually want to have. So you want to be more prepared than you think you should be. Prep yourself up to the place where these things are like absolutely second nature to you, and then prep a little bit more. Because if you're having to think about the words, especially on a show like Doc where there's a lot of medical jargon, like you really want to make sure that it's really in you, like freaking multivitamins. It's a part of your freaking DNA by the time you get to set. You're not always going to be able to do that, but that should be the goal. That is the first thing I recommend when it comes to memorizing. Memorize to the point where you don't have to think about the lines at all, and then do a little bit more work on it so that you can set yourself up to be the most confident that you possibly can be going into set. So train, get ready until the performance becomes instinctive and you can just be connected to who you're talking to, and you're just like, let's f***ing go. Okay, we're now on our way to makeup. What are we doing? Good day to you all. I'm filming myself because I'm an actor. Hi.
People's watching, they go, yeah, this is really good.
This is his real face, that poor bastard.
It's real life and death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, we are done with makeup and we're heading back to my trailer. Okay, so we're in wardrobe, which is another thing here. I tend to get into wardrobe early because I want to make sure that when the knock comes on my door, which I feel like is going to happen any second, I'm ready to go and I don't have to change into my clothes after that. In this show, I'm wearing scrubs in almost every day, but in general, like if I'm wearing suits, all that kind of stuff, it's like it can take a while to get into your wardrobe, and I generally want to give them no reasons to have to wait on me. Not everybody does this. I'm not judging anybody who waits. It's totally cool. But for me, especially if you're like new to the industry, you want to present as few problems to production as you can. When they need you, you're just ready to go. That is low-key a great way to build the habit of professionalism. Next, I want to talk about coverage. This is also like really for folks who haven't spent a lot of time on set or maybe going to your first sets. Auditions for film and TV are a single camera fixed position, right? Which is its own thing, and it comes with its own unique set of challenges. But one challenge that isn't presented to you there is like knowing which camera to play to. We shoot on a show here that's 3 cameras at all times. So one of the things you need to know is like, 1, where is the camera that's getting your coverage? 2, how close or wide is that camera? Are you in a 1-shot, like i.e. a close-up, here? Are you in a 2-shot? Are you in like a mid? Are there more than one person on the frame? Or is this a wide? The way that you perform is going to change based on the shot. The things that you do in the wide might change a little bit when you get into coverage. Like if we're super wide on me and I'm looking this way, when we move into coverage, that movement, rather than going all the way over here, if we're tighter, is going to go to here. It's going to be a smaller thing. So you want to match generally the movement of what you do in the wide, but you need to play to where the camera is because the camera needs to have your eyes. It's not to say that you can't deny the camera your eyes, you absolutely can, but you want the camera to see your work. And this is a thing that was taught to me by an actual like cam op. I was doing a show called Defiance, and it was the scene where I was splashing water on a guy. It was a whole thing, and we were interrogating him. The way that I was doing it was taking me in and out of the coverage. I was moving too much. I was doing it the way I did it in the wide. And this cam op, he's like, if you move as much as you're moving right now, if you match the wide, you're not going to make the edit because I can't keep you in frame. I'm too tight on you and I can't keep the focus where it needs to be and I can't follow you. So this shot's going to be a dead shot. It's never going to make the edit. And I'm like, oh. He's like, so if you want to make the edit, really make all that way more still. And sure enough, the shot ended up in the show, playing to your coverage rather than playing to what was just established in the wide. Saturate every moment with character, especially if you aren't the biggest part of the scene. Have opinions about everything that's being said. This isn't about overacting. It's not about stealing focus. You will be easy to edit out of a show if all you're doing is staring at somebody calm as a Hindu cow. There's plenty of shows and moments in shows where people are doing interesting things and making speeches and doing all of this stuff. And if all you're doing is receiving and you're not forming opinions and you're not processing as your character in ways that are interesting, then why would they put you into the edit? Perform for the edit in mind. How do I fit into this entire dynamic? You can speedrun learning this by watching shows and paying attention. Okay, so when is the person who's actually speaking in the frame? How often do we cut away to other people reacting to that person? How often do we cut away from the reactions to the person who's performing? It's about not just about what you're doing and saying, it's about what it does to everybody else. That is where the storytelling is as well. They're communicating even though they don't have the dialogue in the scene. You can straight up end up in more of the TV show than you would expect you would, simply by being interesting in the moments when you're not speaking. When you have a window to eat. Try to eat good, healthy food. You can always ask for healthy options from the craft people, but you never know. Like, I will eat this, and then 12 hours will go by. Or, well, not 12 hours, because lunch will happen, but 8 hours will go by, and I'll just be like, I'm fucking dying. So eat when you can, and I gotta go. Okay, now we are walking to set, which is another thing, and this is just a thing to know, that sound stages are mazes, and you're eventually gonna get used to them, but don't be self-conscious if you're like, oh my God, what is this? Because essentially it is a warehouse where all of the sets are built, and it's a little crazy. So in here, and I can't show you, I can't take you with me, but this is all these are all of our sets. It's pretty crazy. So we are now gonna be going on to set. I'm gonna like walk into stage 2 a tiny bit. Stage 2, there's no red light, which means I can go in, and we are heading in. I gotta go because I gotta go do my friggin' job on set. I friggin' appreciate you, and I'll see you on the other side of all this. Goodbye. there's always an area where, like, they call it the green room or whatever, but a place where actors are supposed to go. The reason why we do this is because there are like 1,000 million jobs on a film set, and it's crazy, and actors are a very important but very small part of it. So a big thing that we need to do is honestly stay out of the way until we're needed. So that sense of always being ready, but knowing where you need to be, being there, being findable. If you have to go to the bathroom, you tell people that you have to go 10-1. You tell your AD so that they know where you are. If you got to do the other one, it's 10-2. And you let people know so that you're never disappearing on set. Always findable, because it changes fast, and it's your job to be accessible for everybody. So that's low-key a really, really important thing. Anyway, this is the fake hospital that I work at. It's pretty cool. Anyway, bye. We just blocked. Speaking of that last thing that I was talking about, needing to be found, quite literally, I finished that, and then they were like, there you are. Cool. We got to go to blocking. So blocking, those of you who don't know, it's where we like figure out how a scene works. We figure out where everybody's going to be. You do it all with the actors first, and then crew comes in, and you do crew blocking. That's where they can see where the cameras and lights and all that stuff needs to go. All of the like 1,000 million problems that blocking presents to the crew, and then the crew figures out how to do it. And then what happens is we go back to our green room. I'm just on the other side of this set right now. Right on the other side of that wall is where the actors are waiting. This is like another sort of lesson here, which is that so much of this job is hurry up and wait. Everything has to get done right away, and then you have a tremendous amount of downtime where you're just waiting. So a big part of the job becomes being able to keep your head in the game while you're waiting. And to me, I really find this to be a unique challenge. So on set, I usually have a book with me, or in this case, I'm filming this little video, but this is rare. But I usually do things that are relatively low bandwidth for myself, that keep my head in the game, and then I'm just constantly going back to my lines, constantly going back to what the scene requires, back into some kind of low-level entertainment. I have a whole video about this you can check out. Maybe we'll put it up in the corner or something, of all the things I bring to set, and a lot of it is about how to stay focused. But get ready to wait a lot. Get ready to be comfortable with boredom, and then have to freaking go. And this can be hard because you're often underslept, so you'll be really tired, and then like the more you're waiting, the more you're like, you can't KOing, you're just like having a hard time keeping your mind where it needs to be, and then it's like everything needs to get done right away. And that's a big part of the job, that ability to go at full tilt at a moment's notice whenever they need you, even after long periods of just downtime. And it can be really challenging. Speaking of all of this, I gotta go back to make sure that I am somewhere where they can friggin' find me. All right, I appreciate you. Super important piece of information here. Make sure your friggin' ringer is off. I know that that's like, seems like it would be a no-brainer. The average film set costs $3,000 a minute to shoot, and one iPhone ring or their smartphone ring can burn all that money. So a lot of my mindset when it comes to being on set, how can I make sure that they are optimizing their spend, i.e. how can I not up so that they have to burn money to fix my problem? It's a small thing, but like that kind of stuff goes a really long way. One more thing, and it goes without saying, but be friggin' nice to everybody. Everybody on a film crew, everybody on a film set is working really, really hard. And listen, give yourself grace too. Not everybody can have like not everybody can be having an amazing day at all times. Sometimes what we go through is really emotional and it's intense, and it doesn't mean that you have to be super public facing all the time. You're allowed to be insular, all of that, but be kind to everybody you can. This is not to say that I've always been kind to everybody. I'm not saying that I'm like freaking morally pure, but try to be. Okay, this is probably the last one of these I'm gonna be able to do because I got a bunch of other stuff to do today. I gotta change wardrobe and all that, but the final thing is you are going to f up. It's going to happen, and when you do, just breathe, reset. You don't have to reset the take. Where you go up on a line, just take a breath, pause, go back into it. Start up, everybody knows this. You mess up, go back to the start of that moment and go again. Keep your nervous system in check, breathe. The vast majority of the resets on takes that you're gonna do are gonna be because of like focus that got pulled weird, or movements with the camera that didn't happen, or sound issues or whatever. Everybody on set is constantly making mistakes. Just know that you are afforded that same grace. This does not mean that if you show up unprepared and you're just like bad at your job, that it's okay. It's not. But if you're in the middle of it, you don't hit your mark, or you mess up a line or anything like that, just understand that everybody on a film set gets grace. And that same grace is extended to you, so don't freak out. If you found this helpful, please click like and subscribe. My videos are often less on set-y than this one, but I think this is really fun. So like, subscribe, check us out. There's a ton of really useful stuff on this channel, just practical stuff from in the trenches of being an actor, from an acting coach who is also working, obviously, on set. I appreciate you. Friggin' have a nice rest of your day. Go be people. And I should tell you, friggin' watch Doc on Fox. Friggin' super great medical show. Obviously, I'm biased towards it because I'm in it, but it's unbelievable. And being on it is one of the great joys of my life right now. So appreciate y'all. Have a great friggin' rest of your day.